welcome back to the channel where I rip apart electronics and I pretend I meant to do that. I found a broken flat screen TV and instead of throwing it out like a functional adult, I asked, I wonder if it was a sword. Today, we're making a full-size blade using this LCD panel and adding a remote to it as a handle that does absolutely nothing, but it looks cool.
TV.
This is either genius or I have misunderstood what upcycling actually means. Most of the panel is super thin glass. Like, don't look at it wrong glass or it breaks. This right here is going to be our sword blade because it's shiny, it's sharp, and I have impulse control problems.
Taking a TV apart is always interesting because once you crack it open, you realize how much tech is hiding behind a sheet of glass. First thing is getting the back panel off, and once that's gone, the whole layout opens up like a little city of components. Power supply on one side, main board on the other, and everything is tied together with these little ribbon cables that look delicate but somehow hold the whole system together. I'm pulling each board out clean so I can reuse what I need later. These power boards are tanks, and the main board always a few salvageable chips worth keeping. Speakers. They're small, but I keep them all. They're perfect for future builds, especially anything needing a compact audio setup. Little parts like this go a long way in a scrap bin. Diffuser layers. This part always feels like an open technical book. You got a reflector sheet, the brightness diffuser, and the light guide. Once those layers are out, I'm left with the main LCD panel, and this is the part that we need.
Before forging a sword, I'm going to summon an ancient spirit, the consumer of electronics past. Panasonic, Vizio, Instincts, grant me your power, refresh rate, contrast ratio, firmware update from 2014, repair, unpair, repair, factory reset, bezels be with me! That's fine, that's probably supposed to happen anyway. With the power of busted HMDI ports, I present you... Anyway, let's go cut the glass.
I'm not gonna lie, this was probably the most nerve-wracking time I had cutting glass, only because so many layers. Ooh!
Ow! Okay, try number 2.
Moving on to the other side of the panel, this part always feels like precision work. One wrong move and the whole glass wants a spiderweb like it's trying to retire early. So I'm scoring the edge clean, keeping pressure even, and letting the cut guide itself across the panel. You can actually feel when this glass starts to give. There's this little tiny shift, almost like it clicks into place. That's when you know the cut's right. So I'm following that line all the way down, and the goal is to get a smooth, straight side so the final blade looks sharp.
Oh, look at that solid line.
You have to keep the blade angle steady, and taking my time was not on my priority list. Once the edge broke free, the whole panel opens up and starts looking like a mess.
I'm hoping adding the wood will help with the support of actually cracking this thing apart. Yeah, we lost it. God damn.
Oh no!
Lucky for me, I have several TVs within my house that I have dismantled, and I still need to dismantle more! So, here's screen number 2.
Alright, seems like right here would be a good time to talk about our sponsor. There is no sponsor. No one is paying me to make a TV sword. Obviously. This is me telling you that the Discord exists, the tip page exists, and that there's merch, and that it is cool. Okay, back to forging questionable decisions.
So I thought putting a piece of glass over the top and bending the screen up would change my outcome. Turns out it just makes a big ass mess.
Sanding time?
Now it's sanding time, baby. This is where the whole thing starts to look intentional instead of, hey, I broke a TV and called it art. I'm working on the edges slowly, taking down sharp spots left from the cut. The goal isn't to round it off, just flatten and clean the line so it looks like a proper blade. You can see the glass starting to haze as I go, as normal. I actually make the edge look cleaner on camera once it's finished. I'm keeping the motion smooth and even, letting the sandpaper do the work instead of forcing it. If you push too hard, you risk chipping the corner and having to re-execute the whole side again.
Don't do that. What we're gonna do is take a Dremel and cut this down, because I do not need it that big. I just need to be able to get to the screw holes. When in doubt, cut things out.
I'm cutting out the center of the section so the panel can slide in and lock into place. The trick here is taking out just enough plastic to fit the blade without weakening the whole shell.
Now hopefully we'll be able to close it. Nope, cutting time.
As pieces come out, you can see the shape starting to open up. I'm constantly checking the width to make sure the panel will fit snug. I don't want it to wobble or shift around once everything's assembled, so...
Beautiful, beautiful!
Once the cavity is cleared out, I slide in the blade smoothly and start melting in some hot glue. I almost used an entire hot glue stick trying to fill this thing in to make sure that it wouldn't fall out. I even put in the screws to add extra support. Yes, I'm using a blowtorch. I'm poor people, remember? We gotta use things to our best ability, and I do not have a hot glue gun that is functional. Gotta throw a clamp on it or it's gonna slip.
Structural integrity, questionable. Life choices, also questionable. Important question, does it cut? It does look cool, absolutely. I present to you the blade of broken pixels, forged out of junk, made from poor decisions. If you enjoyed watching me commit electrical war crimes, hit subscribe. Join Zodak Win. We don't build things because it makes sense. We build them because they probably shouldn't exist. And next time, I might even make something even dumber. See you in the forge!